Sagittarius, your fatigue is a sign. The last 3 days of November bring the answer. Sagittarius, lately you've been waking up tired in a way that rest can't touch. Not the kind of fatigue that a night of good sleep can heal, but a deeper weariness, the kind that comes from pretending. Every morning you pull yourself out of bed and put on a mask, one that says, "I'm fine," even when your soul is quietly whispering, "I'm not." You laugh, you work, you keep going. But beneath the surface, there's a silent scream inside you asking for something real. Something that feels like you again. This exhaustion isn't weakness. It isn't laziness. It's your spirit rebelling against a life that no longer fits your truth. Sagittarius, you've spent too long performing versions of yourself that others expect. The strong one, the optimistic one, the problem solver, the light for everyone else. And in the process, your own flame has been flickering. You've mistaken being strong for being invincible. You've confused endurance with purpose. But the universe is calling your name again. It's whispering that this fatigue isn't a curse, it's a signal. The last 3 days of November will bring you a window of clarity so profound that you'll finally understand what your exhaustion has been trying to say. These days are not here to drain you further. They are here to wake you up. Before you continue, take a breath. Like, share, and subscribe. Not out of habit, but as an act of self-recognition. This message found you because your soul is ready to rest. Not by stopping, but by returning home to its truth. The sacred message hidden in your fatigue. Sagittarius, your fatigue is not random. It is sacred communication. It's your soul's language when words no longer work. It's how the divine interrupts your performance long enough to whisper, "You've gone too far from yourself." You may think you're tired because of the workload, the people, the constant motion of your days, but what's truly exhausting you is the distance between who you are and who you pretend to be. For a spirit like yours, wild, truthful, freedom-hungry, that distance becomes unbearable. You were born under the sign of the archer, the seeker of truth, the eternal wanderer who cannot survive long in cages of conformity. Yet somewhere along the way, you began shrinking to fit a world that applauds busyness but forgets aliveness. You said yes when your heart wanted to say no. You kept showing up for others even when your own energy was hanging by a thread. You tried to be everyone's guiding light while quietly burning yourself out. And because you're Sagittarius, so capable, so optimistic, no one noticed the slow erosion happening within you. They kept taking your strength for granted because you kept offering it. But your exhaustion, my dear archer, is not your enemy. It is your compass. It's pointing you back toward alignment. When you feel drained after spending time with certain people, that's not coincidence, it's data. When you dread tasks you once loved, that's your intuition telling you that something's no longer resonant. The fatigue that scares you is actually guidance in disguise. It's saying, this version of life is too small for your spirit. Let's be honest. Sagittarius doesn't tire easily. You can cross oceans, rebuild dreams, reinvent yourself countless times. What exhausts you is the faking, pretending to be fine, pretending to be endlessly strong, pretending that your enthusiasm hasn't dimmed when it clearly has. You've been acting the part of the wise one, the motivator, the strong friend, while inside you've been craving the freedom to collapse, to cry, to just be human for a moment. That craving isn't weakness. It's sacred hunger for authenticity. There's something profoundly violent about constantly betraying your own energy in the name of being reliable. You have given yourself away in pieces, an encouraging word here, an emotional rescue there, until the well within you ran dry. Then you blamed yourself for being tired, as if depletion were a personal flaw. But fatigue, Sagittarius, is not failure. It's feedback. It's your higher self saying, you can't shine by force. You shine by truth. The next time you feel that weight pressing on your chest in the morning, resist the urge to push harder. Instead, pause and ask, where am I pretending? Pretending to be okay? Pretending to be inspired? Pretending that certain relationships still feed your soul when they actually drain it? Every honest answer to that question is a key to your renewal. Because authenticity is the most powerful energy source in the universe. When you live in alignment, energy flows naturally. When you live in performance, it leaks. You may also notice that this exhaustion carries layers. On the surface, it's physical, the tight muscles, the foggy mind, the heavy limbs. Beneath that, it's emotional, the weariness of always being the one who understands, who forgives, who keeps everything together. And at its deepest level, it's spiritual, the soul's sorrow of being unseen in its truth. Each layer is an invitation to come home. For some Sagittarians, this fatigue has grown sharper in recent weeks. It's as if the universe has turned up the volume on your exhaustion, so you can no longer ignore it. That's not punishment, it's preparation. The last 3 days of November will serve as an energetic reset. You may feel more emotional, more sensitive, even restless. Don't fight it. That turbulence is your system recalibrating to truth. You're being guided to stop forcing light, and instead allow real illumination to rise from within. During this period, your intuition will heighten. Pay attention to what feels heavy versus what feels light. Notice who you become when you stop performing. When you strip away the roles, the helper, the fixer, the motivator, what remains? That essence, pure and unfiltered, is where your vitality lives. The more you reconnect with it, the more your natural fire returns. It's also possible that you'll encounter people or situations that mirror your imbalance. You may see others living the very patterns you're releasing, overworking, overpleasing, overgiving, and feel an unexpected sadness or even anger. That's not judgment. That's recognition. You're seeing your old reflection one last time before it fades. Don't engage in the same old dance. Observe. Bless it. Step away. Your fatigue, Sagittarius, is a rite of passage. Every soul that awakens must first face the exhaustion of pretending. You are in the final stage of that initiation, the moment before rebirth when everything false feels intolerable. Let yourself rest, not because you've earned it, but because it's holy. Let silence become your medicine. Let no become your boundary. Let tears become your release. And remember this truth. The universe never asks you to dim your light. It asks you to stop burning yourself just to keep others warm. When you start living according to your own rhythm, you'll find that energy is not something to chase. It's something that flows naturally when you are honest with yourself. So Sagittarius, when fatigue wraps its heavy arms around you in the coming days, don't see it as defeat. See it as the messenger of transformation. It's your soul's way of saying, enough pretending. It's time to live as you are. The last 3 days of November are not about endurance, they're about release. You're not losing energy. You're reclaiming it from all the places you left it behind. When the strong one finally gets tired, Sagittarius, you've carried the role of the strong one for so long that you forgot who you were before you became everyone's anchor. You're the one people call when their world falls apart, the one who listens without judgment, who makes others believe that everything will be fine, even when you yourself have forgotten what fine feels like. You've been the steady hand in every storm, the encourager, the light bearer, the resilient one. But now, even the strong one has grown tired. And this, my dear, is not failure. It is revelation. There's a quiet pain that comes with always being dependable. You begin to feel invisible, not because people don't see you, but because they see only what they need from you. They come for warmth, for wisdom, for comfort, but seldom to ask, and how are you really doing? They assume your smile means stability, your laughter means peace. They can't see the cracks beneath your optimism, but you do. Every day. This exhaustion you feel is sacred. It means your soul is demanding reciprocity. You can no longer carry everyone else's world while neglecting your own. You can't pour endlessly without replenishment. Your energy is not infinite, it is precious. And when you keep giving without receiving, the universe steps in to force a pause. That's what's happening now. You've mistaken depletion for strength because that's what you were taught. You were praised for endurance, applauded for always showing up. But you were never taught that showing up for yourself is the highest act of loyalty you can perform. You believed that love meant self-sacrifice, that care meant overextension. And now your body, your emotions, and your spirit are rebelling against that false definition of goodness. The truth is, Sagittarius, you don't owe anyone a performance. You don't have to be endlessly available to prove your worth. You don't need to be the one who fixes everything to deserve love. The fatigue that's overtaken you is not a punishment. It's a divine intervention pulling you away from roles that were never truly yours. Let's be honest, you wear your mask so well that even you began to believe it. You tell yourself you're fine because admitting you're not feels like letting someone down. You've convinced yourself that people count on you, that the world would crumble if you stopped holding it together. But the world won't end if you rest. The world won't collapse if you choose silence over solution. What might happen instead is far more profound. You'll finally hear yourself again. And when you do, you'll notice something. Beneath the exhaustion lies anger. Not rage at others, but a sacred anger toward the imbalance you've accepted for too long. Anger that your kindness was mistaken for endless availability. Anger that your love was treated as obligation. Anger that your light was expected to burn constantly, even when you were running out of fuel. This anger is holy. It's your fire returning. It's the very energy that will help you build boundaries where there were none before. In the last 3 days of November, this fire will rise gently within you, not to destroy but to clarify. You'll begin to see clearly which people truly appreciate your light and which only use it as convenience. You'll feel an almost magnetic pull toward rest, reflection, solitude. That's your soul reclaiming space. Listen to it. Those who love you authentically will understand. Those who don't never truly did. Sagittarius, there is nothing wrong with needing less noise, fewer obligations, and more time to breathe. You've spent years rushing toward the next goal, the next mission, the next miracle, thinking that movement equals meaning. But fatigue is your proof that the universe sometimes calls us to stillness, not speed. The purpose of these days isn't to make you do more. It's to teach you the sacred art of enough. You've always been the Zodiac's philosopher, but lately your wisdom has been turned outward, helping others make sense of their chaos. Now it's time to turn that wisdom inward. Ask yourself, when did I start equating usefulness with love? Who taught me that being tired means I'm doing enough? Who benefits when I ignore my limits? These questions are not accusations, they are keys. The answers will unlock parts of your truth that exhaustion has been trying to show you all along. And here's what you'll find. You don't need to be needed to be loved. You don't have to shine constantly to be worthy. You don't have to fix everything to prove your purpose. The world doesn't love you because you hold it together. It loves you because of the warmth that radiates naturally when you're true to yourself. During these days, let yourself cry if you need to. Let yourself be silent. Let yourself be real. Vulnerability is not the opposite of strength. It is its highest form. When you admit, I'm tired, you're not failing. You're opening the door to healing. You're allowing the universe to refill what you've emptied. You might notice your dreams become vivid around this time. Your subconscious finally releasing emotions you've suppressed. You may feel waves of sadness or relief as clarity arrives. Don't fight them. Emotions are energy moving through the body. Let them pass. Let them cleanse. You've spent years carrying the emotional weight of others. This is your chance to lay it all down. Because here's the truth. Your fatigue is not a signal that you're broken. It's proof that your spirit still cares enough to speak. The truly lost don't feel exhaustion. They feel nothing. The fact that you can feel this deeply means your inner flame is still alive, still calling you back home. So when the final days of November arrive, treat them as sacred. Unplug from what drains you. Say no without guilt. Rest without justification. The universe is not asking for more effort. It's asking for surrender. You are not here to perform strength. You are here to embody authenticity. The strong one finally gets to rest. And that rest is not the end of your fire. It's its renewal. The art of remembering yourself. Sagittarius, your soul didn't come here to perform. It came to experience, to live, to feel, to wander freely between the unknown and the divine. Yet somehow along this long and winding road, you've forgotten that. You've turned your life into a checklist of responsibilities, expectations, and endless roles. The optimist, the teacher, the motivator, the wise one. Each of these identities has its beauty. But when they begin to replace your essence, your soul starts to ache. That ache is what you've been calling fatigue. When was the last time you truly asked yourself what you want? Not what's expected, not what's responsible, not what's safe, but what your soul genuinely longs for. This question might terrify you because the truth waiting behind it could change everything. But Sagittarius, you were never meant for comfort. You were born to follow truth, even when it burns down the false stability you've built around it. Your exhaustion is the soul's protest against a life lived half alive. Every moment you force yourself to smile when you want to cry, to agree when you want to walk away, to show up when you desperately need solitude, your spirit whispers, "Not this." You've mistaken adaptation for evolution. You've mistaken endurance for wisdom. But wisdom, true Sagittarian wisdom, doesn't come from enduring pain. It comes from recognizing when to stop carrying it. There's something deeply sacred about the process of remembering yourself. It begins quietly. You might notice flashes of who you used to be. The curious version of you who could get lost in a sunset, who believed in magic, who found meaning in small miracles. Then you'll notice how far you've strayed. You'll realize how much of your identity has been built around being strong, stable, useful, everything except true. That realization might break you open, but it's not destruction. It's birth. During the last 3 days of November, you'll feel a strange pull toward simplicity. You'll crave honesty over image, quiet over noise, sincerity over spectacle. This is your soul's way of saying, come back. These days are not about fixing or improving yourself, they're about remembering. You don't need to become anything new. You just need to stop abandoning who you already are. You see, Sagittarius, you've been living with a hidden contract. That in order to be loved, you must be helpful. That in order to be respected, you must be tireless. That in order to be admired, you must never show fear. But the truth is, your real magnetism comes from your humanity, not your heroism. People don't fall in love with your perfection. They fall in love with your presence, your laughter, your sincerity, your raw, unfiltered light. This month, life will start dismantling the illusions that keep you from living that truth. Relationships that thrive only on your giving will begin to wobble. Roles that depend on your self-sacrifice will lose meaning. You'll feel an inner resistance to everything that doesn't align with authenticity. At first, it may feel like losing control, but in reality, it's freedom arriving. You're not falling apart. You're falling back into yourself. When the fatigue becomes too heavy, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Ask, where am I living dishonestly? The answer might come through an unexpected conversation, a song, or even silence. Pay attention. The universe speaks softly, but its voice grows louder through stillness. You'll begin to sense the gentle difference between effort and flow. Effort drains, flow replenishes. You've lived too long in effort. These last 3 days of November are your invitation to flow again. In practical ways, this might mean saying no to commitments that feel obligatory. It might mean spending time alone without explaining yourself. It might mean resting when the world insists you should keep moving. This is not rebellion, it's reclamation. You're reclaiming your right to exist as you are, without performance. And yes, some people around you will not understand. They will say you've changed. They'll call you distant, detached, maybe even selfish. Let them. Their discomfort isn't your cue to shrink. It's proof that your boundaries are working. The ones meant to stay will adapt to the new you, the authentic you. The ones who don't will quietly drift away, and that too will be sacred. Here's something few people understand about Sagittarius. Your generosity is infinite, but it must flow from truth. When you give from alignment, your energy multiplies. When you give from guilt, it vanishes. You've been giving from guilt for too long. Now the universe is teaching you to give from wholeness. That's why it sent fatigue, to stop you from pouring from an empty cup. So during these days of awakening, ask yourself, what actually nourishes me? What feels light, natural, alive? Follow that. The universe always supports authenticity. The moment you start living from your truth, synchronicities return, vitality returns, joy returns. Energy will no longer feel like something you chase. It will become something that naturally flows through you. As you begin to remember yourself, you'll feel a new kind of strength rising. Not the loud, performative strength of before, but a quiet, grounded confidence. You'll find beauty in imperfection, courage in stillness, and divinity in ordinary moments. That is the kind of power that never exhausts, it sustains. Sagittarius, the truth is simple. You are not tired of life. You are tired of the version of life that asks you to deny your soul. These last 3 days of November are the mirror moment. The one where you finally see your reflection clearly, unmasked, unfiltered, and radiant in its imperfection. You'll realize that what you've called tiredness was never weakness. It was your spirit's wisdom, refusing to let you live as less than what you are. When you remember yourself, everything changes. You stop chasing love and start radiating it. You stop performing worthiness and start embodying it. You stop searching for freedom because you realize it's been inside you all along. So let November end not with exhaustion but with exhale. The mask has fallen, the truth has surfaced, and for the first time in a long while, you can breathe without pretending. Welcome home, Sagittarius. You were never lost. You were simply returning to where your soul has been waiting all along. The renewal of the spirit. Sagittarius, by the time the final days of November arrive, the exhaustion you've been battling will begin to shift. Not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because you'll finally stop fighting yourself. For so long, you've mistaken force for power. You've pushed, persevered, endured, thinking that resilience meant ignoring your pain. But what if real strength is softer than that? What if your spirit has been trying to teach you that rest, surrender, and truth are the truest forms of courage? In these closing days of the month, the veil between your outer world and inner truth grows thin. What you've been hiding from yourself will come gently to the surface. It won't arrive as chaos, it will arrive as clarity. You'll begin to see how many of your choices were rooted in the need to prove your worth, how many relationships you maintained just to avoid guilt, how many commitments you took on out of habit instead of purpose. It will feel like your entire life has been whispering one message: it's time to live lighter. Sagittarius, you've been living like a flame trapped in a lantern, glowing, but suffocating behind the glass of other people's expectations. The universe is about to lift the cover. These last 3 days of November bring a sacred permission to breathe again. You'll feel your body soften, your heart open, your mind quiet. This is what freedom feels like when it's not running. It's arriving. Let me tell you a truth your soul has known all along. Fatigue is not just a symptom. It's a threshold. It marks the end of an old way of living and the beginning of a new one. You are being invited to cross that threshold consciously. The exhaustion that has defined you for months, maybe years, is not here to break you. It's here to deliver you to yourself. It's your initiation into a wiser, truer, more compassionate version of who you are. You may feel waves of emotion as this shift unfolds. Grief for the years you spent hiding behind strength, tenderness for the person who kept giving even when empty, relief that you no longer have to prove anything. Let those emotions come. They're the final cleanse before renewal. Your tears will not drown you. They will baptize you into authenticity. During these days, the universe will place mirrors before you. A conversation, a piece of music, a quiet evening alone. They'll all reflect back the truth of who you are becoming. You'll notice how your definition of success is changing. It's no longer about applause or validation. It's about peace. It's about waking up without dread. It's about going to bed feeling connected to something real. And here's the miracle. You will begin to feel energy again. Not the adrenaline of survival, but the steady hum of vitality that comes from living in alignment. You'll wake up one morning and realize that the weight you've been carrying has loosened. You'll find yourself smiling without effort, speaking truth without fear, and walking with the lightness of someone who has nothing left to prove. The last 3 days of November are a portal of return, to authenticity, to clarity, to joy. But to walk through it, you must do something radical. Stop performing strength and start practicing honesty. You don't need to be the hero anymore. You don't need to rescue anyone. You only need to rescue yourself from the exhaustion of perfection, from the burden of being everything to everyone, from the false idea that love must be earned through effort. Sagittarius, you have always been ruled by expansion. Your fire seeks growth, adventure, possibility. But growth isn't always outward. It's also inward. These days are about internal expansion, your spirit stretching into its full truth. You'll begin to sense a deeper rhythm guiding you, one that no longer thrives on chaos or overwork, but on meaning and balance. This is the maturity of your soul's fire. It no longer burns uncontrollably. It warms, illuminates, and sustains. And with this renewal will come a test, the temptation to return to old patterns when people begin to notice your change. Some will miss the version of you who said yes to everything, who carried the weight they refused to face. They may try to pull you back into old roles, but this time you'll recognize the manipulation. You'll smile kindly, set your boundary, and keep walking. Because now you know, protecting your peace is not selfish, it's sacred. You'll also begin to see how your exhaustion was never just yours. You were carrying collective fatigue. The energy of generations who believed that worthiness must be earned through struggle. By choosing rest, you're breaking that lineage. You're teaching everyone who watches you that strength and softness can coexist, that the most radiant light is born from the most honest darkness. Your healing becomes a beacon, not because you force it, but because authenticity glows louder than any performance. As November ends, the fog lifts. The clarity you've been craving arrives, Not as a loud epiphany, but as a gentle knowing. I don't have to live like that anymore. And with that realization, your entire frequency changes. You stop begging life to slow down because you realize you have the power to pause it anytime you need. You stop chasing happiness because you realize joy is what naturally rises when you stop betraying yourself. Sagittarius, you were never meant to live in constant exhaustion. You were meant to live as light, freely, truthfully, expansively. These last 3 days of November will feel like coming home after a long journey. You'll sit quietly with yourself and realize that nothing was truly lost. Every tear, every breakdown, every moment of fatigue was part of your awakening. You weren't being drained, you were being refined. And now at last, your spirit is ready to rise. You are lighter, wiser, softer, stronger. Not the kind of strength that exhausts, but the kind that endures. You no longer shine because you have to. You shine because it's your nature. You no longer perform light. You embody it. As you step into this new rhythm, repeat softly to yourself, I no longer push against life. I flow with it. I honor my truth. I rest when my soul asks me to. I am whole, I am free, I am enough. This, Sagittarius, is the energy that will carry you beyond November, into a season of effortless vitality, grounded joy, and divine authenticity. The fatigue was never the end. It was the door. And you, brave archer, have finally walked through it. The quiet return to light. Sagittarius, take a breath. Feel it, the stillness that follows the storm, the quiet after the unraveling. You've spent months, maybe years, running on empty, convincing yourself that exhaustion was just the cost of being strong. But now, as November ends, you understand what your soul has been trying to teach you all along. Fatigue is not failure. It's revelation. It was never your enemy. It was your turning point. The last 3 days of this month mark a sacred homecoming. You are no longer the archer chasing distant horizons. You are the wise traveler who has discovered that the destination was never a place. It was peace. What once felt like collapse was actually the beginning of your realignment. You stopped forcing brightness and started becoming light. You stopped pretending and began to be. In this newfound calm, your body relaxes. Your breath deepens. Your heart whispers a truth it's known all along. You don't have to keep proving yourself to be worthy of rest, love, or happiness. You already are. The exhaustion that once made you doubt your purpose is now the very proof of your awakening. You are lighter, truer, freer. So, Sagittarius, when the next wave of life comes, and it will, remember this balance. Move slower. Speak gentler. Choose peace over performance. Because from this moment forward, your energy no longer comes from striving. It comes from being aligned with your own truth. If this message found its way to you, it's because you were ready to hear it. Like, share, and subscribe. Not as routine, but as a declaration that you are done performing strength and ready to live your truth. The fatigue is over. The fire returns. You are home.